Hey, that one person there. Hello, hello, hello. Um, so I'm looking at my computer. It's not my computer is actually I guess the King of Soul is also logging into my laptop. So I was trying to do it in my laptop so it'll be easier so to do a one-on-one with others. But as we guys know that they are not, again, people have no intention of allowing me. um Wait, I can see me, but you might not be able to hear me. So, okay, so forget about that one over there. But anyway, I'm going to say this so I know they can hear me. They're gonna hear me anyway. So no matter what's going on, I hope that you guys don't that coming in here, you're hearing this because it's not even necessary for me to even give any message online anymore because these folks literally have been violating my boundaries. So it's not like, I'm pretty sure whomever that's seen this, it's time to take action. So I am at my weight, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it like this once I finish and stuff. So you're just gonna have to arrest me. You're just going to have to arrest me because I'm gonna put an end to this. You're gonna have to do whatever you got to do, which is I don't care. So go see what he wants, please, because he has his key. So, all right. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Goddess of Light 1111. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning subscribers, welcome back. Um, you guys have already known my situation. Maybe if you are new passing by to this video, you might not know, but if you have known me for a while, since the minute that I start the minute that I start writing the title, the King of Swords. So the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, they both block me, so that way they're blocking me so that way that they can give my message, so they can give message for me online. I have said that many times, and then they will try to say, "Oh, it's because you are in competition, you're in competition." But I realized that no, it's not about no competition. It's more than that. It's just that the Queen of Swords was giving messages for the Four of Wands. That's the reason that, because currently the Four of Wands, the Chariot, and the King of Swords, they are all of them are currently illegally recording me, tracking me, recording me illegally in my car. So that way, and then even in here, they are still doing all of this. And I am trying to keep my composure because I know, like I said, there is no need for me to even come in online to say this, because I can say it in here. So unhuman, for this unhuman, for this animal, for this clown, for these wicked people, so they can hear me very well, because what they had planned, the main reason that they're like, oh, the empress is, all of this is all behind the scene. People, I say that, I didn't volunteer and say yes to anything. You see, I didn't even put God on this and stuff like that. I don't want to pray sitting there and be fake today. And I don't want, every single time. I've already prayed for myself today. I've already prayed at least 2 or 3 times today. But right now I am not in the mood and stuff like that to sit in there to pray for people that are prayed on me. Okay? I'm not gonna sit in there wasting my precious prayer, because I have it with these people. I have, you know, in the past, I was grounded, I was disciplined, I was self-sufficient, I was independent, I was single, and I was still living my life to the fullest. However this is, I am not one of those person who go out and show off to anybody. But then I realized that everybody has a different plans. A lot of you might not know, again, for people that are stuck in the head, they thought like they're stuck in the head because, like, I was doing something, so I have met a lot of people that they were here, that was sign up, that was collaborate with the King of Swords, that was collaborate. And as of right now, I call judgment on the King of Swords. For I call judgment on the King of Swords because he need to stuck in his head to know what that felt like for you to try. Because the King of Swords told the Queen of Pentacles they need to secretly follow me. They need to secretly follow me. But all of this started with the King of Pentacles. all of these all of this that happened started with the King of Pentacles. So what they were trying to do is that, once they couldn't get to where they needed, they wanted me to be homeless, so that would be easy access to unalive me. That was the reason they wanted me to be, to feel left out in the cold. So now, since they are feeling left out in the cold, they will try to figure another plan for me to go to drive for, the rideshare company. In spite that I talked to the about this company, they know I'm telling the truth, because they were giving, you know, do you know how bad it is and stuff like that for somebody to log in into your own personal phone, right, into your electronic? Like, you see, okay, let me show you guys something. So this is my laptop, okay? You see, that's my laptop. So they are logging into it. So which is mean I cannot go live on it. So what pissed me off is the fact that every time I'm trying to tell somebody the truth, they told me something else. They told me, no, you're just in your head. Well, you know what? Yes, I am. Because first and foremost, one thing that I was healthy as you can possibly be. I make sure, even if I have, you know, $6, I make sure that I'll eat something healthy. So now, for as I said this. So now the fact that I cannot taking care of my health is depleting, because that is being over 4 years since I actually see a doctor. Before somebody opened their mouths and said that, I was a yes sir, because that, I was grounded, and things like that. Yes, I'm grounded in discipline, but I was never a yes. I didn't never say yes to anybody. Y'all chose to block me because it is easier for y'all to tell the truth. Because again, when you guys are defending me behind the scene, you guys know it's for entertainment purposes only. But when I say something, it's actually the truth, because these things that happen to me. A lot of people say, oh yeah, it's happened to me. Some of these people that even coming in here, that is say, oh, it's happened to me too. But it's not even happened to them. They only say that and stuff like that by gaslighting me and love bombing me. I go with the flow and stuff like that again, because I'm not a disrespectful person. I am very polite and kind and generous, but does not make me a pushover. Like I say, not defending myself against this situation the way that I wanted to be and stuff like that, because it's because that these folks was hurry up and try. Nobody knows that how deep this is and stuff. Nobody know how deep this situation get. No one knows except for those people that are doing this. So it's like you have the group occultists, the dark coven, the group occultists, the dark coven, that all of them was grouping. They give other people information how to send death which is mean that poison. So there was two different death. There was death like Green Reapers that have enough of me. The Green Reapers doesn't want, they don't wanna, kill me because I met so many stuff like that, and I can telling you places that I met them, having full blown conversation with them. They're not gonna kill me and things like that. But the poison, these folks is still right next door, right next to me, right in front of me. They are still trying to poison me. They are still trying to poison me because they know that the four of wands. So I want to know that how I was mind my own business. I was focused on myself. I didn't do anything to anybody. I didn't say anything about the four of wands. For me and stuff, it's just like anything in life. I know there was a time, there's a time that, you know, there's a time for this season, and there's a time for, for the season to end. I have worked for these companies for more than 8 years. More than 8 years. So when I had 19 years, when I had 10 plus, when I had 8 plus and stuff, I know when it's time for me to leave. When things start getting tough and stuff like that, when God say, okay, you complete this, it's time for you to move on to your next. So by the time I was fully, I get myself in a place where that I receive my angel, my hello. After that, a lot of ish happened in my life that I put all of them aside. I chose to heal myself. I chose to stay by myself. Okay, I received my hello. But the four of wands was tracking me while I was grounded, self-sufficient, independent. I was working by myself. I was doing all my readings by myself. I didn't have no partners. I didn't have no friends. I didn't have no children. I don't have nobody doing anything to helping me. Nobody. Matter of fact, no family know what I was doing. But then I realized that people actually travel. Those partners, some of those partners and stuff like that, they are career criminals. They transfer their own. They are transferred those criminals and stuff like that, to go do whatever they have to do for them. So then they have you driving them, and then they only paying you half of what you're worth. So now these folks decided and stuff like that. I don't know what they got going on. Once the four of one started tracking me, once they started tracking me, they realized that I was, how do you call that? I never called myself an influencer because then nobody, even when people say that, oh, you helped me a lot and stuff like that, a lot of people gaslighting me so much and stuff. Even when somebody is say you actually helped me, I still feel reluctant and stuff like that to taking them at, as face value, because I'm just like, okay, thank you, I appreciated it. But in the back of my mind, even if I know I did something to help them, I still thinking like they are gaslighting me to a fault. Okay, so I don't understand why I do that. You know what suck about this is the fact that the impress having, so I realized that somebody is flowing. Okay, somebody's flowing in a hybrid. I am sleeping in a flow. I am almost homeless while these people are flew in hybrid private jet, in hybrid private airplane, just to stalking me, just to stalking me. They are flying in private jet, hybrids, just to making sure that I don't have a life. But then people felt like, you know, oh, she's grounded and stuff like that. No, y'all didn't want to defend it me. Y'all didn't know, and I'm grateful for people that are defended me, because again, it is just for entertainment purposes only. Because if even if I am grounded in discipline, even when I'm speaking and stuff like that, I speak with, you know, You don't have to be always loud to be heard. You don't have to be loud to be heard. You don't have to be cursing to be heard. Because the truth is here. The truth is here. Those dark, um, those dark occultists collaborate with the partners, with the king of wands, with the emperor, with the four of wands to try to unalive me. And then the occultists, the dark occultists, the dark covens, the group, they're giving information how to poison me, how to give me poison for me to stuck in my head, right? Nah, that minus that. And then on top of that, they try to give also giving poison how to give me a heart attack. You know, those poison is literally like animal they choose. They chose those animal. Like I said last night, I was almost choking one of them and stuff like that. I had to wake up. I haven't slept since I've been up since 1:55 yesterday. I've been up since 1:55 since yesterday a.m. because I wake up, I was choking and I took that thing out of my throat. And that's on a regular basis. That's every single day, every single night. So in spite when even when I was driving, when I was driving for Uber, last year, they started doing that, but then you don't you ask that how these partners, right? How these dark occultists get my information? Because the dark occultists, they work with the emperor. That's what you say that I'm not defending myself. I'm too nice and things like that, and blah 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 blase blase. I defended myself because y'all know the truth already. Y'all bully me, y'all give the information how to do this, that, and a third, and then people realize that, oh, you know what, she's pretty nice and stuff like that, because actually sign up. We actually sign up to get her off her channel, to get her off her path. So now the King of Swords he still want to know that I think we're gonna be in a lack of killing her. He still want to know. He's still wondering we're gonna be in a lack of ending things for her. The shocking part is the fact that you have somebody so-called impressed, they are defended, oh, they impressed. She had a plan with those gang members. She had a plan with this group because the empress is not like young women and stuff like that. They have been manipulated, or mentored. They have been mentored. Is those The empress is like, they are, some of them is like literally 80, 90 years old. That was trying, it's not people they are mentored or anything like that. Those are 80 years old people that they had a plan, they probably are using cane and everything. They had a plan, with these gang members and stuff like that. Young people they have, used, and this is, we're talking about like from all over the country. That's when I say that in the past when I was talking about this in 2022, 2023, I was defended myself. They was saying, I was say this is not just happening where I am. This is globally. So now this first felt like, well, you need to keep your mouth shut. We'll have a bunch of people that speak pretty to defend it because they're not gonna tell the truth about what the four of one did, what the empress does, what the emperor does, what the chariot does. We're not gonna tell the truth. But like I say, that's the reason that they have the chariot, which is that we have multiple chariot. We have the airplanes, the helicopters, the police officers, and we have the informants. They know, all of them that know what's going on, and then they keep it a secret. On top of that, we have the Queen of Wands that is sitting there and talking about that I need to be patient. Again, these people have no intention, zero intention of letting me live, letting me work into this earth alive. Because the reason that they thought like, okay, they wanted me to go driving, right? I did just that. I did just that because I was not going to sitting there letting these people and keep pushing me and not knowing what's going on, because you never know that if I didn't know, so now they are be subliminally speaking, oh, she's protected, we can do nothing. They have been saying that for the past 4 years. Every single time they're coming in my car, oh, she's protected. People literally followed me from other state, from out of the country, coming and start creating conflicts and stuff like that. They mean it and stuff. I don't say nothing. I just let them open their mouths because they need to go wash it. So I don't say anything. I just let them talking shit. It's not because I'm afraid. It's not because I'm a yes. Sometimes there's a time when you open your mouth, because the emperor is still tracking me. They are still tracking me because they want me to be afraid of their gang members and stuff. They wanted me to be afraid, because the king of wands and the emperors, they're still tracking me, and they're still, the emperor, the the partners, the emperor, the partners, and the king of wands, their friends, they are still tracking me, but they realize that I'm protected. And then they're also looking at me like, oh, she's pretty sweet, she's pretty kind. We're not gonna hurt her. I literally have to remind somebody, be careful who you try to, because I am not who you think I am. I know everybody that I encounter nowadays. Literally, I know who the heck they are. It's never too late. It was never too late. Yesterday, even if I didn't say anything yesterday, because until justice serve, because everybody, that it doesn't matter how many thousands of people, they are still are receiving karma one after another until they do the right things. Because again, I was grounded, self-sufficient, independent. I was single and I was doing my own things. What I did, whether it was online, whether it was not online and stuff like that, nobody has the right to violate my life. Nobody has the right to violate my life, because they will hurry up and try to say, try to lie, and having these police officers and stuff like that to create conflicts, and telling them that, oh yeah, because they will listen to the Queen of Swords. There's like, well, she's, that I'm grounded and stuff like that. She's defending me, blah blah blah. You know, you know what? I do not care about none of this. But your will stop, because what they were trying to say is that, oh, if I creating conflicts, they will come in and hold on my back, and then that, it will be easy access, for them to turn towards me, and then it will cause me to be in financial lack. That's the reason these people was doing that. The tracking hasn't stopped. The planning hasn't stopped. The throwing poison in, whatever they can think and stuff like that, it hasn't stopped. None of this hasn't stopped. I'm not afraid of defending myself. You're not defending myself because you're afraid to go, you're afraid, you're blocking me. Like, The King of Swords, you tracking me everywhere that I go, and then the Queen of Wands has his own plan and stuff. The Emperor has his own plan. Everybody was hurry up and try to juggling so I can be stuck in my head. And then they have it juggling for me to stuck in my head, and then try to ten of swords me, and then spying and watch to see if it's work. So you tracking somebody, you juggling, you try to ten of swords them, and then you watching, you spying to see if it's work. I'm not afraid to defending myself. But sometimes it's better to be quiet. Y'all don't think I'm gonna receive justice. Everybody try to bamboozle everybody. Y'all cannot possibly, I'm hearing, I was randomly listening to, somebody say, oh, they just started tested it from her. No, it did not happen just because of me, because there's a lot of people, there was a lot of readers like me, Earth Angel to be specifically, who's no longer in YouTube. The reason that the Queen of Pentacles is not on YouTube and stuff like that is because that she went and joined the group to become a gang member, to become a scammers, to become a scam artist. I guess it would be easy and stuff like that because they had a group of women and stuff like that. I remember they even went in Florida and stuff. These women are no longer on YouTube giving readings because they now, they were trying to, they sent people invitation and stuff like that. They created a group and said they have, they have their business together, but they become scammers. They become scam artists because they are all up in a group, become whatever you want, having, how do you call it, the sex trafficking women and stuff like that, act like they are, protected them. I'm not one of those people. I wasn't just the first one. You have to say I'm the first one that actually have the guts to stand up for myself. Instead of letting people treat me any kind of way, I am the first that actually stand up in my voice the minute that I start talking, because all of them, they just give up and like, oh, you know what? Let me go. Because I realized that even when I went and beg in the street, and the funny part is the minute that I'm somewhere and stuff like that, these dark high priestess popping up and stuff like that. So just so that I can ask them, and then they think like they will take something away from me by me begging them or asking them. People coming into my life out of the sudden and stuff like that. But they all have a hidden agenda. Nobody wanted to actually want to see me get out of in this poverty mindset. No, not mindset, but place set. Because I'm not in my mind and stuff like that. I never think like I'm supposed to be poor and be in dirt poor and sitting living in the ground. I never thought about that. And then on top of that, these folks sitting there like sending entities inside your vessel. They try to keep in tab on you. They try to send in whatever they can think of to keep tabs on you, to keep, and then they say, oh, the entity just running through this person. But it's not like that. Those entity know that I'm an archangel. They know that I'm an archangel and stuff like that. They cannot do anything and stuff like that but try to get information and try to steal energies. But once I took my energy back from them and stuff, they go back to whomever and stuff like that, and then they get to trap in the head because they realize that they can get anything. And I do not have to, I do not projecting for them to trap in the head, because that's what you guys sending them to do. You guys send the entities, these dark occultists, this dark coven, this group, they were sending these entities to come in inside my vessel and stuff like that, so I can trap in my head. So when they return to you and stuff like that, they're trapping in their head. Y'all know that's how karma work now. And then a lot of people, even some of the chariot, whatever the chariot is, they were transferring entities for the emperor and the king of wands. That's the reason you are in a lack. That's the reason that you are in a lack, because you was transferring entities, you was juggling entities for the emperor and the king of wands, because they are your friends. That's the reason that you follow me and tracking me, but you don't realize that. You don't realize that what you are doing. And I try to keep my mouth shut about this and go about my business, because it's not all the time you need to create enemies, but you're making yourself my enemies when you're decided and stuff like that. You wanted to come in after me. It's making me sad. It's making me sad because not only I had to go to mental institution for this, I had to go into mental institution for this. I have an out of body experience. So on a live, mild heart attack, poison on a regular basis. And I have proof of those. You think I'm going to sitting there living the rest of my life, because every time that I go somewhere to try to better myself, the emperor act like he's the shit on my excuse my French. He he like he's the last cockroach that not know when to die, because he's literally all over the place and stuff like that. That refuse, no matter how many times you spray him, he's still right there. And I'm not talking about unalive. I'm talking, but I'm not joking. This man decided. This man decided to go try to tell people that, or put her by the dark high priestesses, the dark coven, those old ass women, put her by them. And I know I'm getting old too. That's not the issues. To try so that way that they can control me, so he can hurry up and stuff, to put camera so they can control and steal and do to see what I got going on. He is, because that's all they do. That's all they do. I am not in the business of, try to hurt anybody or projecting anything on anybody. I'm not in a business of projecting or hurting, anybody or whatnot. When I say dead and stuff like that, I mean like ended this shit. Tell the truth and end this shit. That's what I meant. So let me clarify myself before, because I know as long as I said it and stuff like that, even everybody was pulling the trigger, they're gonna say that, oh no, nothing happened. So let me try to clarify myself. I mean, end this shit. Because I'm sick of sitting there being bullied This man is still tracking me. Leave me alone. Go back about your business. Go do something else. I had already say I do not want to be part, and no, I do not. I don't even want to be a white witch. These people put so much bad taste in my mouth. I don't even want to be a white witch, much less be anything that has to do with the dark side. I'm sorry. I think I pretty much love where I am. I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to sitting there smelling like nothing. I don't want to put anything in my mouth for nobody. I don't want to sitting there do nothing that is nasty for nobody. I say no, me no. God give me a light for a reason. What they were trying to do. The reason that the Queen of Wands had a plan with the Page of Pentacles to telling me to be patient. They wanted me to be in isolation. The Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, all they had the same plan. They wanted me to be in isolation while they drained me to death. That's what they wanted me to do. Until that I run out of stamina, they drain the life out of me, and then it will be the end of me. It will be the end of me. That was their plan. Everybody got friends, these friends, that friends, whatever friends and stuff. All I want is my life back. All I want is my life back. Why you're following me? Why you say that I cannot defend it myself? Why you try to blocking me? Why do you say that, if I try to go to wherever that I need to go, you try to follow me like a bunch, like a, how do you call that, like a 2 year, like everywhere that I go you start following me. At this point in this, everybody was like, oh, we were just playing game with you and stuff like that. We didn't plan to unalive you. You didn't plan to unalive me, but you actually did. You fell, and then this asshole here is still sending entities inside my vessel. You fell because that I actually know what your plan was, and I talk about it and stuff like that. So that way that if anything happened to me, even if I don't, let me tell you all something. I might not have family members or children and stuff like that to take, to step up for me or to support. But if anything happened to me, I promise you, the world will stand to its feet. The world will stand to its feet. When I told you guys, if anything happened to me, it will bring chaos in this world, you'll think I'm joking. Because first and foremost and stuff like that, some people was actually had to know me. They actually had to know me to know, like, hey, I didn't do anything wrong. They had to know me to realize that, I'm pretty kind and pretty sweet and stuff like that. So, had the situation happen. But they had already did what they did and stuff like that. Some people actually, I know when people try to apologize. I know some people even try to apologize. But the four ones was hurry up to hurry up and get a bunch of, how do you call it, dark high priestess, psychic, I don't know who these companies and stuff like that, to tell them, oh, you know what, uh, we need all of you to sign up this, yada yada, so we can making sure that, we get her off her channel. But this is all behind the scene. This is all behind the scene. Because everybody wanted to hurry up, like acting like that I did something. Who the hell is the Queen of Wands? Who the hell is the Queen of Swords? Who is the King of Pentacles? I was my own business and stuff like that. This man could have sitting there taking money or giving money or whatever he was doing and stuff, and then try to put me in a situation. Like again, I say that multiple times. Y'all want to sell your soul to the devil and stuff. Y'all wanna rob people of money. Y'all wanna you're a lot of scammers and stuff. Why put me in it? It because they felt like that I am disciplined and grounded, so I was an easy target. See anybody that's stuck in the head, y'all don't know. I can't do anything on my channel because I'm stuck too. Right? Doesn't that's what you wanted to do? Right now, people are trying to be, like I said, people are trying to do impartial. They are defended me here, and then they are defended the rest of them. They are defended this person, that person. They are defended everybody by trying to hurry up. So the same thing. My car is my personal property. If I'm paying to sleep in a hotel and stuff like that, that's my property. Anybody that coming in here, they are trespassing my computer, my phone, any electronic. That's my personal property. People are violated all of that. You're talking about like you don't understand. Let me help. Since there is one person that's have the courage and the guts to stay, because I know that the whole entire group think like by them not listening and stuff like that, they're not gonna stuck in their head. Let me repeat. Let me repeat. Y'all try to get me to be homeless financially, for me to be financially unstable, right? For me to be homeless. That's karma. Y'all try to making sure that I have bad health. That's karma. Y'all wanted me to have mental health issues. That's karma. So y'all wanted to making sure that I am worried, stress, anxiety, emotional distress. That's karma. All of this and stuff like that until y'all and then y'all wanted me to be stuck where that my when it's come to doing my heavenly father God's work, I cannot do that. Let me repeat that since there's nobody there. Me not able to do my father God's work, that's going to be major karma. So if you think like by not watching me, you're not gonna stuck in your head and stuff like that, it doesn't work that way. Because you'll think like, oh, we just, like because I didn't do anything to the emperor, you don't have to know again. You're gonna have to deal with that. You're gonna have to deal with that until you tell the truth. The fact that you were planning to unalive me, you was trying to poison me, and it doesn't matter who you are. You're just gonna have to tell the truth, and I do not care how you do it. I truly do not care. I'm living in a hotel. Why? I have my children lost everything. And then they have been also been manipulated and stuff like that to believe that it's okay to lose things. It's okay to die. It's okay to let her die. It's okay to let her, it's okay for her to be sick and die. Because you wanted to making sure that I'm being bullied by everyone and everything. And the funny part is, the dumbass usually they went and called judgment. Again, like that's the things the partner, the emperor, the king of wands, that's what they were doing, and their friends, that's what they were doing again. Y'all try to y'all try to turn our swords. Oh, how it started, right? You're tracking me. You started tracking me, following me, stalking me, and then juggling while the four of wands in the chariot recording it, recording all of that, and then try to turn up towards me by sending entities, by transferring entities, and then try to turn up towards me, and then what? And then call judgment to turn up towards me while you guys are spying to see if it's work. Because that was the information, that's the instruction, the dark high priestess, the dark occultist, the dark coven. You decided that you're called so friend. Hey, we all have friends, right? I have friends that isn't upright, and they are in the eaters. I might have some friends that is in, in the other side that I don't know about. Because like I say, at this point in stuff, because I have not done anything wrong, every entities that's come close that you guys are juggling, they realize that no, we're going the other way because she didn't do anything to y'all. We realize that. So you all do realize that y'all say be patient. And I'm happy to be patient, right? Because if I wasn't being patient, as above so below in 3D, they would not know that I didn't do anything wrong. See, nobody tried to do, they try to do their little investigation here. They're just doing the underhanded hiding things because they don't want the four of wands to get in trouble. They don't want their business to lose. They don't want this to lose. They don't want them to lose their share. They don't want to lose their businesses and stuff like that. But I'm not going to sleep. I'm not going to spend. I'm not going to sitting there in a hotel room for nobody. So I can telling, I don't know who is here and who is not, but the time is ticking. The time is ticking like a ticking bomb. Time is ticking. The clock is ticking. I don't believe 444, how I say this. I do not even believe on time like this. You cannot possibly telling me that y'all are again, you're riding, flying in a hybrid plane. Hybrid. I am sleeping on the dirty floor. You still jealous of my little light. You are still jealous, envy, and hatred of my little light God gave me. No one would even know who the heck I am. But y'all was so quick and stuff like that to go publicize. Oh, she's an offender. So now I just tell people that you don't know who I am. Before you sitting there being blasphemy, try to slander me, tarnish my reputation. Watch your tongue. Because I know I was in the upright when this started. And I am in the upright. Like I say, I am not in a business trying to hurt anybody or revenge. I just want what's mine. I want what's mine. I want my peace. And if I do not get, if I do not get to go back on my channel, doing my work like it was supposed to be, they're gonna have to arrest me. So they don't have to sitting there and try to lies and tell people and stuff like that. It will be a one woman show, and the truth will come out. But then you can do whatever you want to, because the fact is that they are still tracking me and try to still keep me stuck in my head by try to, using code. I am an archangels. When it's come to numerology and spirituality, you can telling me ish. Those people that's just making up stuff. I know stuff. There's a difference. Like I say, I'm not afraid of people with the books and stuff like that. I'm not afraid because you get a master, you get the master. I don't need a master because I got Jesus and I got God. That's my master. So now I'm gonna call judgment for all of you low vibrational. I'm gonna call judgment for me to give messages. I'm gonna call judgment for me to give messages like like I used to. I'm gonna call judgment, and the emperor and his gang member, the empress and his gang member, the king of wands, the king of pentacles, they're all gonna call their little friends, and they're gonna go sign up papers, because I will file a lawsuit against the whole Georgia. I will file a lawsuit because the world has no right. The wall is this airplane, and they have no right to blocking me from speaking what they have done to me, because these people have been bullying me in every which way possible, and then they think like I'm supposed to be quiet about it. How dare you? If I drive you to where you going, you pay me halfway, and then you wanna come in inside, you wanna send entities, and then you wanna come in and hopping inside my body. You want a reward for that on top of that? You wanna manifest over me after I did the work? You have lost your mind. The nerves, the nerves of all of you. Some of these people and stuff like that, when it's come to integrity and stuff, if it doesn't matter, if they got the certification, the bachelors, the masters and stuff like that, you're still lack of integrity, because you took bribe from the four of wands and stuff like that to say things that is not true. You take bribe from the four of wands to try to analyze me, to try to how do you say that, profiling me. Oh, hey, there you go. To try to profiling me and things like that, by trying to say, by trying to say that, by trying to say things instead of like say, hey, I want to do what that was supposed to be the right things. And then some of them try to take bribe just so they can transfer entities, so that way the four of wands can know what I'm doing, what's going on in my life, what they are supposed to do. So from now on, I call judgment on every entity that is trying to follow me, or that is trying to come in. They will go in the depth of the earth. They will go into the depth of the earth, into the heaven, or the heaven, wherever they're supposed to go, with the chain and the fetters of the Lord, and wait for justice, for them to go for them to go judge. for them to wait for judgment day for violating, because you cannot possibly telling me that you want to know what's going on in my life, what I'm doing, and then you go hopping in their vessel, you telling them what I'm doing. You literally like push your, it's kind of like you push your agendas on me when I say no. I'm like I said, I'm not stupid. I chose not to talk. Before I sitting there yapping, 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 yapping and stuff like that, I want to make sure what I know is facts and truth. And everything that I say is facts and truth. I know they didn't 10, 11. I know they didn't do just that just to me. They did that to a whole lot of other people. They do that to a whole lot of people and stuff like that. Those people just be like, well, okay, then I cannot take the bullying anymore and stuff. I can get off my channel. I had no problem get off my channel. That would the get off the channel wasn't it. It's the fact that they wanted me to be in isolation, drain me to death, try to give me a heart attack, try to unalive me, and try to do this, that, and the third, and then that they try to push me to go driving and stuff like that, and then attempted robbery or attempted murder, because that was what they were planning to do. They had a plan for raping, murdered, robbery, and all of that, or even like try to claim fight. Have you ever seen, this thing you see in movie, right? You go into a place and stuff like that. There was car in the left, car in the right, and then there was car in front of you, there's car in front in the back of you. So which means that you can probably stop. That happened to me last year while I was driving for Uber. I stopped, the car stopped, and even when I talked to the lady that was dropping off and stuff like that, she started laughing and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay. So, and you know what I told her? I literally said, I said, oh, so that was a setup. So, because the Toyota stopped in the middle of a bridge, which means that if I stop, to help that Toyota, what will happen is that because the Tesla, another Toyota, a Jeep, and the fact that this car, the Jeep heard, somebody told the Jeep, and then another car that was with the Jeep, that was a whole plane and stuff. So I will stop, and then they probably like, knock me the heck out, and then drop me down there. So every car that will literally, they will literally smash me until I die, because that will be that it's in Riverdale. I don't know what it's called. It's a huge bridge that's in Riverdale. It's almost like, anyway, I will be dead regardless. By the time I hit the ground, I will be dead. But that was their plan. So they were still playing the same thing. Like I say, I do things according to God. There was something that called patience. I learned patience very well. I learned patience very well. And I call judgment on all the low vibrational entities they are using, because they were even using the world, which is when I said the world, they were using the underworld to bully me. They were using the underworld to bully me. So these people using anything they can think of to bully me just so that I can be silenced. It's not over until y'all get the off of my life. It's not going to be over. Like I said, let me show this again. So there was two of you. You see this? See, they're logging into my laptop. I'm not allowing. They're logging into my laptop the same way they're logging into my phone. But the reason that I don't put this, for the people that are watching me currently. I put it for new people that are watching me, because they were hurry up, do a petition and stuff like that for all of these people that, they, like I said, the emperor, the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands. These people know a lot of people, and it's like a friend of 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 a friend, and especially like, you have to understand gangs, and these people talking about gangs, group, churches, even a church that I was baptized in is also involved in this atrocity, because they wanted to keep me stuck in my head, still tracking me. They wanted to keep me, sending me places and stuff like that so I can be stuck in my head. So what am I supposed to do? I'm not afraid. I was never afraid of defending myself. You're blocking me so that way that you can, like, sitting there talking about this and stuff like that, like it, because for you guys it's for entertainment purposes only. Take this to a judge. Let somebody else online take it to the judge. You will have to explain it to the judge. In order for you to tell the truth to a judge, how you know the information, you have to telling them that, yep, and I call judgment on every, every low vibrational, wicked ass people that actually watch me, put camera to spying on me for them to tell the truth, for them to tell the truth. That way, that's the only way you can tell a judge. Because if you're sitting there talking about this online, it doesn't matter what you say. For them, it's entertainment purposes only. The only person who can tell the truth to defend myself is just me. And any low vibrational entities you send and stuff like that, I hope it's returned back to you a thousandfold. It will return back to you a thousandfold. Because while I'm speaking and somebody keeps sending entities inside my vessel, they will return back to send there a thousandfold. And you will wait, it will stay with you for the rest of your miserable life. Like I say, I am in no mood for this no more. Because all I had to do and stuff like that and go to the doctor will show I'm not telling a lie. You cannot tell a doctor to lie. There is no amount of money and stuff like that, because all I have to telling them that I have a YouTube channel, and I'm calling judgment and stuff. I'm calling judgment for you. I'm calling judgment. I am free. I was free, and I'm gonna be staying free. I'm calling judgment because I was grounded, self-sufficient, independent, and I would like to stay the way that I am, being free agent, do my work by myself. And you're gonna be trapped in your head. The same thing you try to do, you're gonna be stuck in your head. The same thing you try to do to me. I don't ask nothing for nobody, just my life. And I don't think that's much to ask. I have learned to forgive, but you're doing too much. Nobody was afraid to turn towards me, and I tried to go about, the Jesus way and things like that. It would be easier, you hurry up and just kill me and call it a day. But since I wasn't supposed to die in this, it was just supposed to be an awakening. I said no, y'all move on, I move on. But you're like, no, I got money. Why would she say no to me? Why she don't want me to slave work in her? why she don't want me to sex trafficking her, why she doesn't want me to bully her, why she doesn't want me to do what I want her to do, why she doesn't want to carry a dog. What it's just like why everybody got a why and stuff like that, except that I have no control over my life. I have plenty of control over my life. That's mean no. Because everybody decided they want to keep it a secret. The fact that I'm defending myself, they want to keep it a secret. You don't expect me to defend myself. That's what I'm saying. They're like, oh, we keep it a secret. The fact that we violated, no problem. That's no problem. No problem. Like I say, I'm gonna make it my business to show you that I am not that kind of person. I don't sit and wait for things to happen. I've done a lot of sitting. I've done a lot of, not doing anything, and I'm gonna show you a different version of me. So I'm going to leave that there. Y'all wanted, y'all think like I was supposed to be afraid of speaking my mind. I was never afraid. But you will stay King of Swords, Queen of Swords, the rest of y'all that is spying, you will stay out of my life. All of you will stay out of my life.
What if eating, unlike some insurers who may have preferred networks, we allow you to work with any jeweler of your.
So thank you guys so much. I appreciate. If you are new, don't forget to, pass that video on. But it need to be here. It's supposed to be here. It need to be heard. But thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.